We may not have had a lot of snow this winter, but the season did keep pace with a trend that's been building over the last couple of decades. Our snow season is shrinking, and it's shifting. I've got the numbers to prove it to you in this week's Heather's Weather Wise. Let's start with what's been normal around here, at least since 1970. The average winter season snowfall is 95.7 inches. Here's the month-by-month breakdown. December and January take the lion's share of snow, but pay attention to the transition months, November and March. Here's how the breakdown changes when you look at just the last 20 years. Average snowfall has dropped about 25% in November and has risen about 3% in March. When you look at this past winter, the trend holds for a more active February, but one good storm in November tipped us a little above normal to start the season. Of course, December and January were unusually snow-starved. And there's a pretty clear trend when you look at the average last inch of snow for the season as well. 3 of the 5 earliest end dates have come since the year 2000, but 4 of the 5 latest end dates came before 1950. Since snow records began in Buffalo in the early 1900s, the number of days between Buffalo's first measurable snowfall and the last has dropped by about 25 days, from 137 to 112 days. But the average season total snowfall has actually increased a couple of inches in that time. So the snow season is shorter, but we're still packing in almost the same amount of powder. Since 1970, fall and winter snowfall is dropping, but to make up for that, spring snow is increasing. But later season snow isn't just a Buffalo thing. We're actually joined in that trend by a lot of other Great Lakes cities, including Green Bay, Duluth, Cleveland, and Erie. One of the big reasons is that the overall warmer winters have allowed for less ice to form on the Great Lakes. The lakes are wide open, you get a rush of cold air. That's the perfect recipe for some good lake effect snow. When it comes to the increase in I-95 corridor snow in spring, keep this in mind. Snow has been increasing more dramatically during the winter in these areas. Late winter and early spring is prime time for strong nor'easters, so an uptick in the storm track intensity may be a factor here. That's it for this week's Heather's Weather Wise. I'll see you next week with a new topic, but until then, remember it's good to be a geek.